Hello, and thank you for joining us for another Mimaki exclusive. My name is Matt Collinger, the marketing specialist here at Mimaki USA. This video series will be focusing on the Mimaki CG cutting plotters. You'll learn how to load media, set up your files, and we'll share some common useful tips that you may find helpful when operating your device. All the information in this series can also be found in your manual. If you've misplaced or lost your manual, you can download a digital version from our website at www.mimaki.com/product by selecting your model on the right-hand side, then clicking on the Download tab. So without further ado, let's get started.
Let's begin by attaching the cords on the back side of the cutter. The first cord is located on the left side. This is where we attach our USB cord, which is required for the cutter to receive information from your computer PC device. One end will plug into the cutter, and the other end plugs directly into your computer via a USB port. The next cord is the power cord, which is located on the right side. This is a 110 volt power cable. For safety precautions, please make sure to have the CG cutter's power switch turned to the off setting before inserting the power cord into a live outlet. The power switch can be accessed on the left side viewing from the front of the machine. It is a basic on-off switch. The O represents off, and the line represents on. To load a roll of media, place your roll on the back side of the cutter between the two silver bars. Carefully feed the material up and under the pinch rollers. If your material has a lot of curl to it, it may get stuck on the pinch rollers. Simply lift the material off the grip rollers and continue to feed it to the front side of the cutter. Once your material is in place, drop the pinch rollers by pulling the lever next to the control panel. When the lever is in the front position, the pinch rollers will be up, and when the lever is in the back position, the pinch rollers will be down. To unload a roll of media, lift the pinch rollers and roll the media back onto the original cord. After the front edge reaches the core, remove the roll entirely from the machine. You also have the option of loading leaf sheets for cutting. Similar to loading a roll, lift the pinch rollers and slide your media under the pinch rollers. Make sure to adjust the pinch rollers so they are on the media. The white lines above the pinch rollers designate where the grips are under the material. Make sure you always have your pinch rollers placed within this area. Once that is finished, drop the pinch rollers to lock the media in place. Next, you will go to the control panel and have the option of pressing the right arrow for leaf or the left arrow for roll. Press the right arrow key and the cutter will read the material. To replace a blade, unscrew the screw holding the blade holder in place. Pull back the latch and remove the blade holder. Remove the bottom cap of the blade holder to expose the blade. Carefully remove the blade by pulling it directly away from the holder. When installing a new blade, carefully insert the blade into the holder with the blade end facing out. After the blade is placed all the way in the holder, re-screw the cap and fasten the blade holder back onto the cutter. Now that the media is loaded and the blade is changed, let's go over some of the control panel settings. The screen will display the current cut profile. Pressing the tool button will cycle through all the cut profiles. Each profile is completely customizable and can be saved to your needs for speed, pressure, and offset. When changing cut settings, make sure to press enter to save changes. The remote button enables the plotter to receive cut data from your computer. Pressing remote again will disable it. Please note all adjustments must be made with remote disabled. The data clear button will clear any data sent from the computer. Pressing enter after the prompt confirms the clear. Whenever you load a new media or change your blade, you will need to set up your cut settings for the blade. To begin this process, we need to perform a test cut to see where the baseline results are. To do this, press the function button. You will see the square cut option. Press enter. The cutter will perform a small square cut based on the cutting settings you currently selected. As you can see, my current pressure is too low and I am unable to remove the square. I will increase the pressure settings and test again. Repeat this process until the square is removable. Even though I am able to remove the vinyl, I will increase the pressure setting slightly to ensure I have clean cuts since I'm not cutting through the liner. We can compare each cut from start to finish. There wasn't a cut into the liner from the right square. However, on the left, there is a faint cut line in the white liner. If you need to cut out your material completely, use the half cut function. To do this, first move your blade holder from the back position to the front position. Next, change your tool setting on the control panel to HLF for half cut. If you do not have the HLF tool available, press the function button. Press down twice and you will see setup. Press enter. Now press the down arrow until you see half cut. Press enter. Make sure the setting is turned on. After pressing enter, you will see the half cut pressure setting. This is the pressure cutting halfway through your material. Next is half length. This is the distance the cut will use half cut pressure. Finally, there's cut length. This is how often the cut line will do a half cut. To begin creating cut lines for your cutter, you need to have your artwork in a vector art program. We will be using Adobe Illustrator for this tutorial. We have our artwork set up in 3 layers. Our cut line will be used for cutting, and the color and white layers will be used for printing. In order for the cutter to recognize the cut lines, it needs to be called a specific name, cut contour. To do this, we will need to create a swatch color with the spot color named cut contour. Start by going to the swatch tab and clicking New Swatch. Change the swatch name to cut contour exactly as seen on your screen. Change the color type to spot color. You may change the CMYK build to be any color. For this tutorial, we will use green. Now that the spot color has been created, we can select our cut line and change the stroke to our new swatch cut contour. Now that our cut lines are created, we can create our registration marks. Since I am printing on a 54-inch roll of vinyl, I will build my artwork to reflect 7 across to utilize the width of the material. With our artwork nested properly, we can begin creating the registration marks by creating a new layer and making a box outlining our artboard. With this box selected, go to Window and scroll down to Mimaki Fine Cut. If you do not have this plugin installed, please visit our website at www.mimakiusa.com. Click on the Support tab, Drivers and Software Updates, and scroll down till you see Fine Cut 9 for Illustrator on the right toolbar. With the plugin open, select a box similar to crop marks. We will be using the Type 1 registration mark shape, which is the middle option. Our mark size will remain 0.39 inches for this cutter. After pressing OK, our selected registration marks were created outside the box we had selected. Now adjust your artboard to fit the new registration marks. Finally, you will save out 3 files. The registration marks and color layer is file 1, the white layer is file 2, and the registration marks and cut lines are file 3. Now we can print our layer image and cut it on our Mimaki CG plotter. Now that we have our file printed, let's set up Fine Cut 9 for cutting. To start, we only need our cut layer and our registration marks. Remove all other layers. Now go to Window and scroll down to Mimaki Fine Cut. To set up the settings for our cutter, click the Plotter User Setup icon, represented by 3 bullet points. This is where you select the model of the cutter you are using. For this tutorial, we are using the CG-FXII Plus series cutter. Next, click the Communication tab. Now select the method of communication you are using to connect your computer to the plotter. Once selected, the model name and serial number should be located on the drop-down list. If you have multiple plotters, select the one you are currently using. Test your connection by clicking the Connection Test button. Make sure the machine has material loaded and is a remote. If you get a notification that says correct, you are connected and ready to cut. We are now ready to plot the image. To do this, click the first box in the second row of the Mimaki Fine Cut plugin. This will open Fine Cut 9. After reading the prompt, press OK. Before we start plotting, we need to tell Fine Cut we have registered marks. To do this, click the Register Mark tab and click Detect Mark. Now Fine Cut has separated our register marks and we'll look for them before cutting. Since the only other layer we have is our cut layer, we are ready to plot our image. Click the Plot button in the top right corner. There are 3 ways to set your plot condition. Plotter condition, which uses the cutter's current cut profile. Select condition, which allows you to select which of the cut profiles on the cutter you want to use. Or custom, which allows you to input the exact pressure settings. We will be using plotter condition since we've already set up the cut pressure for this material. Under Options, you can select to sort how the plotter will cut your images. You can preview the change by clicking Preview and simulating the cut process. We will select Sort for this tutorial. Once you are satisfied with the preview, click Plot. Load the material by using the roll setting. Once the material is measured, the display screen will read TP1. Using the arrow keys, read the bottom right register mark by placing the red dot on the inside corner of the mark. When the red dot is in place, press Enter. After the plotter reads the mark, you can now send your cut file through Fine Cut. Make sure to have your CG cutter in remote before sending the file. In this example, we are using half cut. Apply pressure to pop out your image. If you are cutting without register marks, begin by loading your material. When the display reads TP1, press End to cancel. You can use the arrow keys to change the origin position. Once ready, place the CG cutter in remote before sending the cut file. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to Mimaki USA on all social medias, and we'll see you again soon.